let's review some fake stuff today that isn't electronic. They're actually fake Pokemon booster packs. I picked these up, and they look pretty convincing at first, but they only cost $2 a pack, which was a red alarm for me right there. They definitely spare no expense on the foil pack itself, though. I mean, it looks real enough. It's got the barcode on the back, the website, description of the particular pack you're buying. It's got the address for Pokemon USA, Pokemon UK. Looks real enough. First of all, though, the outside foil doesn't mean jack. The cards you get in the pack are from, like, all different sets. This has nothing to do with what you get. Let's go ahead and look at the first one here. You guys are going to like these. First of all, they feel thinner, like they bend a lot easier. The print on the back looks kind of different in a way where... Actually, this one's not a good example. I'll try to show you on another card. So here's a holographic Vigoroth here. There's a typo right there. Feedback. So they look real on first glance. You know, when I first opened up this pack, I actually said to myself, you know, you could probably get away with using these in a Pokemon battle, a real card battle. No, you couldn't, because you've got some of them have blatant typos right out in the open. Other ones, though, you have to look closely. Let's see. Its heart beats at a tenfold tempo, so it cannot sit still for even a moment. Okay. So, other than that one attack typo, this card's pretty real looking. The foil kind of leaks out of the side. I think the camera's picking that up a little bit. The foil's leaking out of the side more than it should be. The foil looks pretty cheap, too. Let's look at the next card here. Nothing really obvious. Oh, here's one. Damage O-counters. It spends rarely all its time in a day sprawled out. Just seeing it makes one drowsy. Also, whenever they mention the word Pokemon, the apostrophe E is a totally different font. So, that's another giveaway right there. This Vulpix, let's see. It controls balls of fire. As it grows, its 6 tails split from their tips to make more tails. Okay. The Pokepower Poison structure. I think it's supposed to be poison structure. Ugh, look at the word Pokemon, too. There's a big space, so it's like Pokemon. Really weird there. No bio on that particular card. I want to see... Okay, here's an example. The Pokemon graphic on the back of the card, it's kind of off-center. See the amount of blue on this side than the amount of blue on this side. If you see what I mean, there's less blue on this side than there is on that side, so the print is off-center on the back, if that makes any sense to you. Wormpull, basic typos. Here's some trainer cards. Each player may evolve a Pokemon. Discard this card from the stadium card. Comes into play. How'd they screw that up? They capitalized it and I don't know. Another trainer card. Same old typical typos. A slack off double. Alright, let's look at another booster pack. This one's, it calls itself Diamond and Pearl Majestic Dawn. Again, looks pretty real, blah blah blah. Lotad. Typical typos if you look close enough. Cacturn, another cheaply made holographic with a weird graphic error with the amount of energy cards taken. If you were to actually use this in a battle, I think you and your opponent would be having an argument. Does that require 2 or 3? Because you got a third one kind of poking out there. Let's see. It becomes active... What the... Ew, oh, wow, this one's bad. It becomes active at... That's supposed to be night, but instead of a T, it's an R. Seeking prey that is exhausted form, that's supposed to be from. The day's desert heat, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be desert. Wow, this one is really terrible. That's a very bad one. Thunderfang. They left out the D in Thunder. Again, the typical misplaced apostrophe E. Oh, this is a good one. You got this particular one here. Read its bio. Its legs are short. Whenever it stumbles, its stiff antenna clack with a xylophone-like sound. Okay, now let's look at the next one. Lickitung. Let's look at his bio. Its legs are short. Whenever it stumbles, its stiff antenna clack. What the... They used the same bios for the two Do you see antenna on Lickitung? I don't know about you, but I don't. Where are the antennae? I don't see them. Wow. Grimer. The typical Pokemon. Typical grammatical punctuation errors. Typical grammatical punctuation errors. Same old typical errors. This Pokemon looks better, but it's still got the different font for the apostrophe E, so it's still kind of a giveaway. Instead of Ice Beam, it's Lif's Beam. They made it a capital L instead of a capital I. It understands human speech. Don't all Pokemon understand human speech to a certain extent? I thought they did. But, I don't know. What do I know? I haven't watched the show in like 6 years. That was back when it was cool. Pokemon's not cool anymore. At least not the new ones. The old ones are still cool. Fully holographic Machop card. Foil looks cheap as usual. Is it leaking out the side? Not as bad as the first one we looked at. Typical errors. Graveler. They usually capitalize the word of a Pokemon if it appears on a card, so that's not abnormal. Typical weird Pokemon. Non-holographic Vigoroth with the same back typo. Typical. Whoa. Wartortle. Sounds like a Canadian war turtle. Wartortle, eh? Nothing against my Canadian fans. I love all of you. Trust me. That's just the first thing I thought of. Said to live 1,000 years. Its furry tail is popular as a symbol of longevity. I'm surprised they spelled longevity right. You know, I'm kind of surprised how many typos are on these cards. It makes me think they're sitting around the office like, alright, I just finished typing up the cards. I think maybe we should proofread them before we print. Nope. I think we really should proofread. Nope. But just to make sure we haven't typed anything out. No. That's the only thing I can think of. They clearly don't look at this. Asception. I neglected to look before this video if that was a real word. I'm going to put down in an annotation if that is a real word or not. Typical errors. Zangoose. Anything interesting? Feel free to pause the video if I neglect to mention anything on the card if you want to read it better. Special conditions. Not supposed to have 2 T's in it. Sneaky attack and shoot needle. By storing water within its body, this desert dweller can survive. They spelled survive wrong. For 30 days without water. Lovely. Carnivine. Nope, typical. Got a Chansey here. Nope. Typical grammatical errors, like a space before the period and not after it. No space after that comma. It's those little things, you know, you look for them. It's what makes the card look real at a faraway glance. Well, except for that Wartortle. Anyone could spot that out from a mile away. And they didn't spell it wrong like that throughout the card. You can look in the attack here, they spelled it right. So, I don't know. Feel free to rewind the video if you want to get a better look at any of the cards and pause them to read them. But it's a shame that they make these, you know. It's a shame to think that these people are making money off of something that is really, really good. To think that they're copying it and making money off of it is just crazy. It's a shame to think that. Oh well. That's it for these fake Pokemon cards. I'm gonna go burn them.
Oh yeah? You think you're so tough with your low tag? Go, Wartortle!